Hello everyone, here we are with another hike. I am in northern New Hampshire, Hanover, where Dartmouth College is. Actually Norwich, or Norwich as the Brits would say. And I'm planning on going south for a few days. Don't know for how long. It will all depend on the weather. It's cold today, very chilly. I think we're currently at about 7 degrees, but the forecast seems pretty good for the next 5 days or so. And I decided to go south because I didn't think I was in any shape, condition to tackle the White Mountains, or to go north on the long trail, which will intersect in a couple dozen miles with the AT. So south it is, just another hike. Hopefully it's going to be a foliage hike. The colors are in a bit more muted, probably because they've had a lot of drought here, but still very nice. We have oranges, we have some reds. As you can see, we still have a lot of green. It is my first fall hike in fall weather. Expecting freezing temperatures overnight, and I hope my gear was picked right this time. On my last hike up in BC with my sister and Mark and the others, I got cold. So I've upgraded a bit. I have a 22 -6 degree quilt with me and a nice hood. And yeah, and I mean, when I walk, I'll be warm anyways. Only half an hour in. But man, it's good to be back on the trail. It's a lovely trail. Soft, not rocky. A little bit uphill. Met my first group of section hikers already, and saw a white-tailed deer not 10 meters from me, running away. Sun is peeking through every so often. It's good to be back. Well, here I am at the Happy Hill shelter. My first shelter. I'm only a couple miles in, but it's just past 1 o'clock and it's lunchtime. I also needed to make some adjustments to my clothing setup, and which I will show to you in a second. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I think one could call me colorful now. It's pretty. It's pretty cool. It's, I think 11 degrees, 10 to 11 degrees centigrade, sort of in the 50s Fahrenheit. But it's too warm to hike in long pants. And these green things I just picked up here, and they are called limeys socks, and they're supposed to be treated with permethrin against ticks. And Amanda, Lynn's friend, told me that ticks are a real problem here. So I decided to pick up a pair and to wear them, even though I think now my foot attire can be called rightly quite garish. So I noticed just something that I hadn't thought of before. I had intended to stay maybe at the next shelter, Thistle Shelter, which is about 9 miles away. I think I could make that if it weren't for the time of the year. It is dark at 7 here. 7 p.m., quite dark. So I think I have to set up no later than about 5:30 so that I can have supper and get ready before it gets pitch dark. and it's 2 o'clock now. At my current speed, under two miles an hour, I don't think I can make that. So, because I also have to get water, I really don't know what to do. I guess I'll just go on the next book. I fill up some water and see how far I get. There's a town on the way, Hartford, but it doesn't have lodging. I don't think it has a campground. Not sure if I could camp there, perhaps. We'll see. Worst case, first night stealth camping. As long as I have water, that'll be all right. I'm full up with food. I have almost 5 days worth of food with me. Heavy pack. Look, sun is out. How lovely. Yeah, I better get going. I'm also pretty chilly. But there's a climb ahead, so that should warm me up. The sun has come out. It's a beautiful blue sky. The trail is really very good. Of course, ups and downs and roots, that's to be expected. But also lots of pretty flat pieces where you can go at a good clip. And it's so nice in this fall weather. This is just a joy. I think I'm coming up on a road soon. First I'm gonna pick up some water, and I hear already trucks going, so it can't be far anymore. And once I've watered up, then I think it's a climb out to the next shelter. By my calculations, I would make the shelter by 7. And I'm uncomfortable with that. So at my next stop, I'll check where there is a water supply on the other side, so that I need about 4 liters for supper and breakfast and overnight. And capacity is, I think, a 3.7 liters capacity with me. So yeah, if I fill it up, I should be fine. Stealth camping, sorry about that. Okay, look at that. The sun on the leaves. Wow. It's amazing how far you can hear cars when you come up on a street. I'm just passing under an interstate, and yeah, it's quite loud. So this is part of the AT as well. But it's just gonna be a little bit of road walk. I'm coming into the town of Hartford, which apparently was hit quite hard by a hurricane about 10 years ago, and doesn't seem to have many services or many hiker services left. So I'm planning to go through here, and then on the other side, it's 4 o'clock now. I have done about 7 miles so far. Good pace today. I'm surprised. And then I'll just find myself a camping spot, fill up some more water. I have almost 2 liters on me right now, heavy pack. But I just met another couple of section hikers, and they said there was actually another water source on the other side, even though far out, the app that I'm using, the Appalachian Trail app, doesn't say that. But that's good. Good news. So more water, and hopefully soon a place to camp. And now you can see what a gorgeous day it is. I mean, just look at that. Sunny, and there are some browns ahead and some greens. And I think somewhere up there is where I'm going to. Tonight and tomorrow. I do love the architecture here in New England. They have these painted wooden houses. Such a nice style that fits in so well here. Nice porches, rocking chairs. Really nice. Church from 1832 that has fallen into disuse. That's sad. It says meeting house, but it doesn't look as if anybody meets much in there anymore. The West Hartford Library, a nice example of the kind of style I just talked about. Established 1922, so not that old for around here. And the river in the late afternoon sunshine. There's a little duck swimming in it. I don't like filling up in rivers. They usually pollute it, in the very least, with agricultural runoff. So I much prefer smaller streams. So I wanted to show you something. As you can see, the flow is really not great. But I just learned something from another hiker that makes this possible. You take a leaf and put it there, and then you can actually, and I don't know if you can see that, I'll try my other hand, then you can focus the water enough to trickle. I filled up my bag. That worked better because unfortunately the bottle is a bit too tall. Let's try another leaf. There we go. So even where you think you couldn't get water, because the flow is too low, this way you can get easily a liter in under a minute. Oh boy. The last kilometer and a half have been tough. It's been the biggest climb of today, and that, of course, the full pack, food for 5 days, and a full water load, extra water carry. Wow. But it's okay. Should be coming up to a lookout point. I've been looking for a stealth campsite. Nothing really that caught my eye. Maybe up by the lookout point. But around here you can see that a storm came through and took down some pretty big trees. It's a bit of a disaster zone. All right, I'm done for today. And I will relax and enjoy. I was right. I love it when I'm right. Up on the viewpoint, and here is the view. There is a little stealth spot here in the forest. Here, maybe you can see I set up my tent already and set everything up because we only have 1 more hour until darkness. So I better get going and make supper and clean everything up. And yeah, so my first evening on the trail is stealth camping. That's what happens when you forget to charge your inReach and leave later than you had intended. If I'd had the extra hour and a half, I would have made it to the next shelter, but this is great. You can still hear the highway, but you know, here I am, all alone with this view, these benches. What a great spot. So good night, people. I'll see you tomorrow.